Greetings, fellow sanitation workers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Zed City, episode 43, Sewer System. As you can see, at the start of the stream, I am going to have you guys vote on a priority. So here it is. We can add fire suppression to the pumps. So these pumps are mostly protected from fire, as they have stone walls. But as you guys know, sometimes zombies, when they die, they'll like jump a wall. So there's a case where if I set a whole lot of zombies on fire and they die, it's possible that the zombie corpses will end up on the moisture pumps and burn them down. So we can add, fire extinguishers there if you like. We can also add a septic tank for better plumbing. So a septic tank will allow you to automatically plumb your toilets to the tank, and then you can extract sewage out of the tank for the biosolids composter. We can improve the walls and entryway. So what I was thinking about this is doubling up the walls here so that this is a proper reinforced entryway with like zombie shockers and all of that. And then eventually, once that all is done, getting rid of all of this infrastructure because it is bulky, clunky in the way and is relatively unnecessary, especially once the moisture pumps fully extend their perimeter. So we could do that. We could also build another farm. Now that we have a pretty predictable amount of power, we could add a little bit more solar to offset a new grow light and grow some more stuff, if you want. Because we've been growing yayo. Yayo is, flake is technically bang for your buck, better use of psychoid than yayo, but yayo is a safer drug to binge on and to take in a pinch if you're like about to have a mental breakdown. Whereas flake is a wee bit more dangerous. Or we could focus on improved weapons and armor. We do have pulse charge munitions tech, and we also have minigun tech, and we really haven't put those to use. We have made one gun for Redfield and one gun for Exarch. Actually, we didn't even really make it for Exarch. Like, just Exarch arrived in the community and we were like, here, have a minigun. But that's another thing that we could do. So you guys can vote. Taking a look at the threat horizon, let's call it. It looks like we're really not going anywhere for about 10 days. Not significantly. So there is not a whole lot of like out of the base stuff we'll manage. So we can look inward to try to improve where we live now. So there's other projects to consider, like proper walking pathways so that we can move to and from the docks more quickly. There's already lights to help with that, but we could always install paths as well. We could replace all the wooden floors with stone ones so that the base is far less flammable, or alternatively, now that we have fire suppression sprinklers, we could also add those around the base. Because I don't think it's inconceivable that at some point we anger the rough Outlander unions again, so it would be good to have protections from that possibility. But yeah, things are going smooth, and usually when they go smooth, they go wrong. But we'll see. We'll see. Can miner zombies mine out smooth walls? Yes, I believe so. I think miner zombies can mine anything that is mineable. So smooth granite is just as mineable as regular granite. And therefore, miner zombies could go through it. Could be wrong about that, but that would be my assumption. I've never seen it done myself, though. Hey, bud. Here you go. They wanted you to have treats, and Tusk left, so it's all Yoda's. So we have a little bit of a convergence of zombies here. I'm really curious. I'm not sure why all of the zombies converge at points, but they do, right? Like every zombie basically that can path to us. Maybe it's like when these guys get enraged, it triggers a convergence. I'm not sure. That's a really good question, but anytime it happens, we have to muster towards the base. Now, the good thing here with the redesign is the zombies don't share a wall with us. So if they have a dangerous situation where they breach in here, this is really of no particular consequence to us. The thing I might want to do, though, is change the base zone to no longer include anything south of this wall, so that we can just sort of not think that that is a valid spot for us to go during dangerous situations where zombies are piling up. So with that said, let's send some shooters down to the docks. Now, one thing I did mention that I wanted to do, regardless of however this poll goes, and it looks like you guys want maybe walls and septic tank, is to roof up this area so that we can use fire effectively when we want to clear out corpses or even hordes. Cheers! Rexy and Emmy, thank you for the resubs, by the way. It looks like our colonists here, because it's negative 10 Celsius out or 13 Fahrenheit, they're starting to bundle up. Which is fine. It's good. I did put Guero back on regular components. And the first thing you all voted for is that we do a septic tank. So I am going to bust a hole here and put the septic tank right in the farm. Close to where the biosolids composters are. Figured might as well. And then once we have that, we can have better plumbing rather than a latrine, or just plumb the latrine, but I figure probably replacing the latrine with a better toilet. Oh, we have fire. I don't know how that got started. Maybe a dead boom rat? Tangier and David, thank you for the gifted sub and the resub too. The other question is, we are relatively low on stone, which is just a weird thing considering we have a mountain base, but the only miner that mines full-time is Guero, and he's right now crafting. So although we can put a septic tank there, well, you know what I could do is I could just do like paved tile, because that would look about right underneath the septic tank. Looks like I need another chair too. 4 shooters, 4 chairs. So you guys mentioned, so the priority, let me update this. I'll just call it defenses. So speaking about defenses, when I did the redesign, as clean as it looks, there are some errors. So I want to point those out. 1, if this is our backup wall, like this is our main wall, considering everything south of that is slated to be destroyed at some point, there's not a lot stopping zombies from scaling these walls and becoming a dangerous situation. In terms of base theory, I had a bit of a discussion in my Discord server. So the reason why I have a door here is when you think of where the zombies die, you don't want your door surrounded by contamination, right? So like if we put a door here instead, trying to leave the base would be very dangerous because you take one step out of the base and you're in essentially zombie gut sludge. And those guts are going to get you killed real quick through contamination mechanics. So you want your door in a place that lures zombies towards it, because doors will attract zombies, but you don't want your doors in a place where zombies actually die. So if we look at the shoreline, keeping the doors away from the shoreline is ideal. Unfortunately, this door is relatively close to the shoreline. It's really not that far. So a better place for the door would be over here. So that if zombies are mustering here and we shoot at them, they'll be driven westward towards the lake, keeping this door area far less contaminated. And therefore, when we come and go through the main entryway of the base, we're not tracking in contamination, which is what all of this stuff is, right? There's low levels of contamination kind of everywhere, anywhere where anyone travels. So that would be the first good redesign. Meaning that this here becomes just a wall again. The other thing I wanted to do is to design this so that there's a double wall in this area, but I have to make the double wall northward, right? Because for us to shoot zombies that are along this wall, let's say it's a tanky operator, we can't double wall downwards like this way, because then we lose line of sight. So I'm going to want a double wall around here, which means for the garage, it doesn't really matter, but for where we're keeping the weapons, this will have to be redesigned a little bit as well. The other thing is I've noticed zombies can kind of sniff out doors on the other side of walls, so this door here is kind of in a bad spot. So that's another thing that I would want to change, is to remove this door and to place it like here or something, where it's very far away from the closest zombies, so the zombies won't gather around it, because the door here as it is has zombies kind of muster and gather around here, which then creates a weak point that we don't want. So those are some basics just to start. And then you guys voted for a septic tank, so once vitals monitors are done, I'll research septic tank and plop it here. Bendis, yes, I discussed it with you. Yeah, you came up with a design, and I looked at it and was like, it doesn't quite work, but it did trigger some thought processes for me of why it wouldn't work. So honestly, I just happened upon a original base design, which didn't have zombies cluster around the door where they died, just by chance. The contamination mechanics when this series started was kind of turned off for the most part, and it was only turned on the last few weeks. Which meant that, like, I happened upon a design that works really well by chance, not by design. But if we were to, now going forward, I'm going to want to design it in a way that is safe and secure. The other thing I would want to do is this door here needs to move as well, as does this one. They are too close to the southern wall, and therefore will attract zombies. Much the way that the doors around here, around this geothermal geyser, attracted zombies into the driveway. Very counterproductive when you're trying to lead them away. The other thing I could start to do is the uranium doors as part of the older section of the base can probably go away. I'm running low on uranium. I'm using uranium because they're strong and non-flammable, but cheaper than plasteel, right? Having plasteel only doors, plasteel is probably better used for advanced components and the like, whereas uranium, unless you're doing slug turrets, doesn't have a ton of other uses, short of like shipbuilding. So uranium is a really good material for tough doors that don't blow up or set fire or whatever. All right. VA Barn, thank you for the bits, by the way. Cheers. So, some simple redesigns. Then the other thing I would want up here is this to be airlocked in case of a dangerous situation breach where they scale. And then knowing that smooth granite probably doesn't stop miner zombies, to dig up the smooth granite and replace it with actual built blocks. Because the tanky operators, I'd rather just have to deal with one type of zombie rather than have to worry about two. So I'd rather have a miner-proof base and ignore all miners than have a mix of somewhat... I think the tanky operators probably can go through mountains as well, or smooth granite. I'd imagine they'll just like break through it. So let's just at least make the base like miner-proof. So probably move the doors that I had up here further inset into the walls. But that looks like it will work. And then shift the shelving around so that it doesn't block the doors here. We already have these doors back there. Perfect. One thing I haven't done in a while is check for dangerous zombies out here. I haven't heard any tanky operators. They make a pretty unique clanking noise. So other than this, like, rage party, I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Yeah, my uranium is quite low. The question there is, do tankies ignore smooth granite? You know, I don't know. What I do know is that, like, whether they ignore smooth granite or not, it's just easier to have built block walls, even though they're less strong than smooth. Significantly less strong, just as a precaution. At the end of the day, it takes tank operators so very little time to plow their way through, the defenses of the base anyway, that, like, smooth granite, plasteel, doesn't really matter. It's a difference of, like, a hit or two. Much like breachers, right? They're sort of zombie breachers. And the defense against breachers is not stronger walls. They're going to get through your walls no matter how strong they are. The defense against breachers is killing them before they're able to do the damage that they're trying to do. Right, so I also moved the psychic emanator to be out of the gun room, as the gun room is more likely to get infiltrated than kind of anywhere else, I think. And that's why I'm trying to fix it up so that it is more secured. It also wouldn't be a terrible idea to eventually put a some sort of toilet system down here as well. Easier access for the colonists to relieve themselves after a long duty of shooting zombies. Duty is probably the wrong word. Yeah, maybe I need to pick my words more carefully. Oh, one weapon type that I don't need on these. Well, whatever. I'll wait. Do the stall drawers from Hygiene Mod attract zombies? I don't know, but it's also one of those situations where I'm not going to exploit game mechanics of incompatible mods for my benefit. It's the same reason why I disabled automatic garage doors, because they're very, very exploitable to corral zombies. Part of this holding wall here is simply going to break from the punishment of constant damage. Alright, I think, likewise, I will add an air gap here for zombies as well, so that it's much more difficult for zombies to gather and breach. And then I'll probably do that here, too. Right, because the only place that they can stack up in this corner is these two spots. So if I wall this area off, they won't be able to get out. Rugdor and Brahms, thank you for the resubs. 211 zombies. How's our meat and... So our vegetables are rather low, but we have a ton of corn that is harvestable soon, provided that Randy doesn't blight it. Now that I've said that out loud, we know exactly how that will end. Just Randy doing Randy things. But yeah, the wall redesign, I think is turning out well. Another thing that I could do is in these rooms, in these air gap rooms, I can line them with straw matting so that they're extremely flammable in the case that we have a crisis and we just need to set them on fire. And then put a roof over it so that, you know, ambient weather rain can't extinguish that fire. Can they climb over double or triple walls? I believe they can, yeah. The idea is that they're going up and over, so the distance traveled over makes very little difference to a zombie. It's kind of that they, like, you all have seen that, like, World War Z movie title image where they're just, like, piled up in a giant swarm, creating, like, a you know, a sort of ramp. A human, or a fleshy ramp of sorts. Man, that's a bad mix of words, but yeah. I think that's sort of the concept. So far, so good. We're about 2/3 into septic tanks. So how about you guys research, or you guys poll for the next research project? Because septic tanks are going to be done pretty soon. Sapien Green, thank you for the bits. Oh, Guerrero, you're idle? Ah, yes. So you are. Let's fix that. There's almost enough calm outside. Oh, yeah, because the threat's real low. I am going to allow people out briefly to try to roof up the fire traps. And just watch them closely. Make sure they don't do stupid things. Zombies aren't too dense out here. So, if you're wondering what I'm doing, the RimWorld has a mechanic where if there's enough fire on your map tile, it will rain. And this is largely to stop computers that have less processing power from, like, seizing up and combusting in real life. Because the flame mechanics are rather resource intensive. So RimWorld has a, like, fire trigger where the fires will be put out with rain. It will trigger some rain. So I'm roofing this up so that when I want to torch zombies, when I want to burn them intentionally, they don't get extinguished from rain. And this won't work all that efficiently. Okay, people are here. Fangface is, like, putting himself into a corner. With all the gunfire, he's, like, slowly attracting just, like, more targets. I did tell Exarch to come out here, like, an hour ago. Exarch's like, my husband or fiance is fine. It's like, he really isn't. He would really like your backup. Does rain remove contamination? Not as far as I know. I mean, if it did, I wouldn't have contamination kind of outside of the lake area. Because we don't often kill zombies out that way, so I could be wrong about that, but I have a feeling the answer is no. Alright, winter has begun. And you all see fit to do plumbing tech once the septic tanks are done, probably to get better toilets, I'd imagine. So that's what I'm going to choose. Poor Fangface is like, I'm stuck! Because they keep filtering in slow enough that he's just not getting to go inside. Alright, I'm gonna run him inside. Everybody, gun duty. This poor wall here. How contaminated? Okay, it's not fatally contaminated there. Don't shoot your husband. He's not having a good time. Oh, and now there's a shocker. Shockers like to set things on fire, so it's kind of not cool. Kill it! Okay, he's 10% contaminated. Although they're firing past him, so I'm gonna get him out of there. He's just gonna catch a bullet. Hey, Uko, thank you for the resub. Alright, now can you repair that wall? No, it's down to 21%. Alright, we'll say plumbing tech is next. So then the other part of this new defense is to set up shockers for the areas that could be breached, like here and here, once they're fully enclosed areas. As shockers will help to keep the... Oh, I didn't see the zombie coming in from behind. Time to boogie. Get mad. Don't care. So now that we have septic tanks, we can get better toilets and showers. And then like hot tubs if we want to relax. But I'm going to start with toilets. The other thing about the septic tanks is they can be made of just pure steel, but because steel is a rather expensive resource that we don't source very easily, I'm going to wait until I have enough granite to make a granite septic tank, because doing a steel-only septic tank doubles the steel cost. It's 100 steel or 200 if you don't make it of a different material. I suppose we could do a wooden one, but that just doesn't seem like a good idea. So I didn't manage to get a lot, like, covered up roof-wise. But here, you can see the lovely full perimeter walls keeping our pumps secured. So I'm going to let Stormguard come out here and get some uranium for these doors, and I'll replace these doors with probably steel, which is technically flammable, but a little bit more rugged than... Or, you know, I could even do stone, although I don't want the open and close speed that is so slow as a penalty of stone doors. Stone doors do not open in a pinch. How long until the moisture pumps are finished? I don't know. They take a while. I'm missing 1 uranium for this door. Ouch. Really? Just 1? So I'm just micromanaging her, making sure, you know, I could even forbid these doors and she won't go anywhere. Oh, there we go. Now it's enclosed. So here is the idea. To to put the shocker here and here. So if we do have zombies scale the walls, they're stuck. And I'll do the same thing over here. Same sort of encasement. In a way, it's kind of like the way ships are made to prevent the ships from flooding if they go under. Same sort of concept, design-wise. All right, we have enough granite already. Perfect. So the threat is climbing up to a maximum, sitting at about 100 for an entire day, dipping back down to like 40% after 3 days, climbing back up. But we'll have respite towards the end of winter. Now, the trouble with that, however, is winter is a very bad season to travel in on the overland map. Our vehicles are not very fuel efficient, so we could try to go out and explore ruins on the 8th or 11th day of winter, but the vehicles will travel very slowly and use a lot of fuel doing it, which is totally fine. It's just going to be more expensive than going in a different time. Oh, we already have the septic tank. Nice. So with the septic tank alone, we actually don't have anything plumbed to it, so it's not going to actually start to hold anything. But once we get better toilets, that will change. I might also want to move this this steel column, make it non-steel, and then move it so that it isn't at the end of the dock, where that's probably most ideal to stand with grenades. A quick check for danger. I think we're good. The septic tank does not destroy the sludge. In order to destroy the sludge, you would need to build... well, research and build sewage treatment. That destroys the sludge over time. Septic tanks just hold it in a slightly... I mean, I've been holding off doing it because, like, composting toilets were good enough. And septic tanks cost, you know, 200 resources, and we're kind of resource scarce. But the last slag run we did manage to net about 1,000 steel. So I felt, maybe it's time, finally. You hear a tanky? Yeah, I hear a tanky too. Right there. Southwest. Okay, we're gonna get a swarm. There was enough zombies. Oh, and there's another tanky in the swarm. So 2 tankies incoming. I think this warrants me going into red. DEFCON. Well, it's called DEFCON Red. Is there 2 tanks in that swarm? Yeah, there's 2 of them. All right, so there's 3 tanks on the field. A good test of our new redesign. I'm not excited about like multiple tankies coming in my way, but well. In order to conserve uranium, I'm actually going to replace this door because it doesn't lead anywhere with a cheaper material. But we are on an all hands on deck kind of situation here. So these are all the zombies that got enraged, having been summoned in this swarm. And Guero's headed to repair the door. We can actually double up the eastern wall of this here. Did this burn? I think it burned too. Yeah, double up the wall at some point so that this isn't so easily broken. Because it's a common spot to get shot. Alright, everyone should take a quick break before the tankies come in. So there's one here, one there. I think they're coming in a trajectory that's good. Well, with the base redesign, the worry is that they mow over the moisture pumps. But now that the moisture pumps have expanded out to at least allow for a 3x3 box to prevent fires, I don't want to lose moisture pumps, but it wouldn't be the end of the world because I could rebuild them in place and it would be alright. Oh, they're getting enraged. Alright, so the first tanky is about to hit. Too bad I can't just move doors. Yeah, no kidding. It would be nice. We also have enough serum or extracts to make another serum. So I'll queue up 100% serum. Alright, Fangface and Exarch, what can I do for you? For your moods. Exarch, you just need to eat a nicer meal. And it is time now for everybody to report to the front. Because it's going to get crazy. So these two tanks are going northbound. I hope they don't swing real far north, because it's going to be hard to deal with. And this one has decided not to bash my walls down, which is weird. God bless repair overlay, right? Henhen, thank you for the sub. And Estradard, welcome to your first stream. I'll drink to that. Okay, corner broke. So this is a flame risk now. As fire can travel diagonally. It's going to be also very difficult to try to repair that stuff just because of how zombie congested it is. Oh, we have an albino, but Guero's like waiting for the albino. Okay, the albino's dead. One tank dead, and then there's two more waiting in the wings. I feel like if we quickly extract these zombies, they don't contribute as much to the contamination around. It's not great that he threw the extract in the door. There are better places for that, I think. So I've been told. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Zed City, which originally streamed live on Twitch November 26th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, a link can be found in the description of this video or at Rhadamant.com. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow zombie slayers.